Hey everyone, how y'all doing? It's me Jordan, and today we're going to talk about character customization in the Battlefield franchise. Character customization is starting to become probably one of the most fan requested features for Battlefield to bring in. You know, you go on Reddit and stuff like that and there's a lot of people asking for this feature to come into the franchise. Come to think of it, Battlefield is actually starting to become one of the few shooters on the market that doesn't have some sort of custom options on your character in multiplayer. The closest I think Battlefield has actually come to this feature is probably in Battlefield 4, where you had certain camos you could equip to your soldier that hardly looked different. Like, you could see the colour and stuff like that, but you couldn't really see a night and day difference. Especially since Battlefield 1 has come out, however, I think a lot of people have been demanding a full-on character customization feature to come into the game, where you can customize your soldier from head to toe. So today I'm going to talk about it and decide for myself whether I think it's a good idea or a bad idea. So let's start with the side that is in favour of it. So why do people want this feature to come into the franchise? I think many might say because it could add another layer of customization options. So that means perhaps more grinding and gives you more time to play and motivates you to keep playing to earn stuff that you want. Now, if a soldier customization did come into the game, how much depth has this thing got? Are we going to get probably as much options as you would in the Bethesda games like Fallout and Skyrim? Probably not that much. But I think probably a lot of people would just prefer things like, fancy things like mustaches, scars, race, gender, and physical size. And of course some nice camo uniforms perhaps you can wear as you progress through the game. Now of course this will all depend on where the next Battlefield will take place. Whether it will be in World War II, the Cold War, modern, whatever. We have, the medic, the assault, the support, and the scout. So are we going to get 4 custom options, or are we just going to have that one character who carries around every class? Perhaps maybe giving us 4 separate characters to customize will give us more freedom, and maybe they'll have exclusive items for that class specifically. So it makes us grind out on all 4 of them, not just a single character that maybe has the coolest looking skin. When I think of it that way, now when we've laid it out like that, you customize your character, you grind for all the stuff that you want, that sounds like a great idea. I would welcome that. However, that might not be how this feature might be implemented. So now I'm going to talk about how it might be implemented wrongly for the players and could be a bad idea. So I have 2 reasons I think why I'm not so much saying it's a bad idea, but I'm just making some reservations for it. I think a character customization with a bunch of items will leave the door open for EA to start again another big ass microtransaction system. The specific reason why microtransactions exist is to overcharge you. Players will eventually lose their tolerance and patience to unlock the things they want, so in the end they just give up and spend $15, $20, $25 on microtransactions. And if it comes to the worst, perhaps maybe none of these items that are in the character customization option, whether there'll be 100 of them, 200, how many ever, maybe all of them will be locked behind this slot machine microtransactions. Now, other shooters like Halo and Call of Duty have adopted this system. Now, I'm going to tell you guys a personal experience I have with Halo 5 to perhaps give you guys an idea of how this system could screw you over. Halo 5, I bought it at Christmas 2015 and I looked at all of the helmets and customization stuff when I first got the game. I went through them and picked out the one helmet I wanted to wear out of all the helmets. So, that was the helmet I wanted. So I picked out the Mark IV helmet. That was the helmet I picked out and thought, that'll be the one I'll wear. Now, let's fast forward a year and a half later. I am level 116, so I've put a ton of time into the game. I have not spent a single penny on these microtransaction packs in the game because I refuse to. There are 238 helmets to unlock. I currently have 167. In those 167 helmets I have, do I have one of the 5 there was 5 variants of that helmet that I wanted, so I would have been happy with any of them. Do I have one of those 5 variants? No, I don't. So a year and a half later, having put a ton of time into the game, I still have not got the helmet, or one of the 5 helmets, that I wanted when I first got the game. So it shows that this system will test your tolerance and your patience, and maybe you'll either give in and spend money on these things, or you'll just trash the game entirely. You'll never play it again. Now, some might say for Battlefield, maybe you'll get in-game currencies like you do in Overwatch, like where you have, your credits to open loot boxes, and there's certain items for each character that you can purchase with those in-game currencies. However, there are quite a few that just are locked behind loot boxes, so maybe that's what Battlefield will do. However, the things in Overwatch that you can unlock with in-game currencies aren't the best skins, they're like the lower grade skins. So perhaps that's what Battlefield will do. They'll lock behind all the cool looking ones, behind the battle pack system, and they'll just let you purchase the ones that look half decent. Now, the other thing people might say about this microtransaction system that might be a good thing, is that perhaps it could replace the money that EA would make with season passes. So maybe the next Battlefield game won't come with a season pass. However, we need to just think about this for a second and realize season passes don't need to even exist anymore. I mean, by January 2017, 3 months after Battlefield released, it sold 15 million copies, so EA don't need money. Again, EA used this to overcharge you, to hope you love the game that much, so you want to get the future content and stuff like that, so you will spend more money on it. However, to give you guys hope for the future, EA's two most recent releases, Titanfall 2 and Mass Effect Andromeda, haven't included season passes and have made all of their future content for those games free. And with Battlefront 2 coming out at the end of this year, and there has yet to be a season pass confirmed for the game, maybe we're looking at a brighter future for the company. If Battlefront 2 ends up having no season pass, I think EA must take it again a step forward, up a gear, and make Battlefield the next game without a season pass for them. And my second concern is that it could break the immersion of the Battlefield game. One of the things I think Battlefield 1 does well is the immersion. It does a very good job at being a war simulator, essentially. You know, explosions creating foxholes, buildings crumbling, the amazing sound design from the weapons and vehicles, etc. Now, in every game that includes a microtransaction system and a character customization, there's always a few derpy, stupid looking items that you think, what the hell is that? Now, we've seen these pictures from Call of Duty recently, like these before and after pictures. Now, I've got like a picture of the original Modern Warfare where this guy's in a ghillie suit looking like a badass. And then fast forward 10 years later almost in Advanced Warfare and you've got the gingerbread man running around on the game. So it shows that Call of Duty has taken a massive dive into making it feel actually like you're playing a war game, if that makes sense. Now, I don't think Battlefield will go that deep into stupidity in the character customization. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say, you see a very strange looking individual running around on the battlefield. It could break the immersion if you just see one of these weirdos running around. It just makes it feel less immersive. I don't want to see Battlefield pictures of that coming out. You know, you see perhaps the badass looking guy on the Battlefield 3 cover, and then next game we're seeing something like that. You know, I don't want to see Battlefield turn into that. And of course it does depend on the setting that the next Battlefield takes us. If it's based in a historical time, DICE will have to take the time to creating full characters that represent the soldiers and how they looked back then. Battlefield 1's character models have been quite controversial this time around. People have been unhappy with how DICE have identified some of the character models who represent the soldiers fighting on the Western Front. So that could be part of the reason I think why people might be demanding it, is because then they can just customize it how they want. Now, like I've said, it sounds like I'm against this character customization. I'm only against this character customization feature if it's implemented the way I've just mentioned. If it's going to be a microtransaction system where you can unlock nothing via assignments and tasks, you know, you've got to do everything by just unlocking these battle packs. If they're all locked behind battle packs, then I think it's a bad idea. However, if it's implemented differently, maybe I'll change my mind. Simply, I need to see this before I judge it, simply. Before I can give you guys 100% straight answer. Anyway, I want to hear you guys. What do you think of this option? Do you think it's a good idea? And how you see it being implemented, tell me how you think it will be a good or bad idea, depending on how you see it being implemented. If it's going to be locked behind this microtransaction system, or if they're going to be unlocked via assignments, you tell me. Share your thoughts in the comments, guys. I'll be probably down there a lot. And I'll see you guys all again soon. Take care of yourselves. Bye.